Your money or your job? This is a hold-up. Hello and welcome to today's Daily Blitz. Now, Christine Lagarde recently became the president of the European Central Bank, recently said on a radio show that we should be happier to have a job than to have our savings protected. Now, this is a very interesting thing and a very strange thing, you would think, for a banker, let alone a central banker, to say, as one of the primary responsibilities of any bank, let alone a central one, is to protect the savings of its depositors. So why is it that she would say such a thing?
As Christine Lagarde sees things, there's a trade-off between people having jobs, meaning the economy is growing, and people having savings. I don't know where this idea emerged from, but for some reason policymakers, modern policymakers, believe that savings and jobs or economic growth are somehow something you have to choose between. And that's just a shocking idea.
It's quite interesting to see it in such a blatant binary form. But we have seen over sort of an extended period of time now that central bankers increasingly see these as sacrifices that must be made. So in this case, with savings being no longer protected. But in terms of just the wealth inequality created by central banking policy, this is just something that has to be accepted, as the alternative would be much worse. So during Mario Draghi's tenure, who's the predecessor to Christine Lagarde, he said that some of their policies may, on the one hand, increase inequality, but on the other hand, if we ask ourselves what the major source of inequality is, the answer would be unemployment. So to the extent that these policies help, and they are helping on that front, then certainly an accommodative monetary policy is better in the present situation than a restrictive monetary policy. This is really just saying the same statement as Christine Lagarde said, but in a longer sort of drawn-out sense, where wealth inequality is, we accept, a side effect of our policies. However, the alternative is unemployment in general, and you should be happier to have a job than to moan about wealth inequality ultimately. Where do you think this really came from?
I think central bankers are realizing that their policies are creating unintended consequences that are actually quite bad, that are really bugging people. Whether it's issues with savings and the interest on those savings, or whether it's wealth inequality. And what they're saying is that the prices we're paying for the monetary policy that they're conducting are worth it, even though the evidence doesn't really quite bear that out.
So they're trying to change the narrative so everybody will happily accept all of these things as just prices that must be paid in order to maintain employment. Though, of course, Christine Lagarde has no problem with her savings being protected or her retirement being protected, as of course she has a very fancy defined benefit pension from the IMF and the like. But watch out in the future for more central bankers trying to change the narrative in this way and trying to make people feel that this is really just a binary choice between having employment and having savings in general. But that's all for today's Daily Blitz. Thank you very much for watching, and be sure to tune in next time.